Welcome back to NBA Cinema. We have some fireworks in the NBA today with Dame Lillard joining Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and the Milwaukee Bucks to form one of the most stacked teams in the NBA, man. They have a well-rounded roster, role players, and now they have someone on the perimeter that's one of the top threats in the entire game of basketball from anywhere on the floor in Dame Lillard, and they have the most dominant force in the paint. One of two of them, with Jokic being the other one, but they do have Giannis dominating the paint, and Middleton will be able to be the legit third guy on a roster, and that's scary, especially if he can get back to his pre-injury form. So now we have Charles Barkley of Inside the NBA on TNT reacting to this trade, and he had a lot to say about the events that transpired today, including why his Philadelphia 76ers didn't get involved, James Harden. He talks about the Lakers and several other topics. Check it out.
Well, I'm not totally shocked. I'm shocked that he went to Milwaukee. So obviously Milwaukee should be the betting favorites now. It's clear that the Suns had something was going on with DeAndre Ayton. And, it goes back to that was an issue with Monty Williams and DeAndre. And now clearly it must have been something else going on in the organization. They clearly just want to get rid of him. But the big winner is the Milwaukee Bucks. And their general manager, they got a new coach. He's a young guy. I forget his name, Adrian.
Yep, Adrian Griffin. Yep.
Yeah, Adrian is he's got a great team to start. I like what the Celtics did, going out getting Porzingis. But I think it's fair to say that the Milwaukee Bucks are the favorite going into the season to win the NBA championship.
And Chuck, with that being said, what is the biggest message for Adrian Griffin, knowing that Dame was a star in Portland, Giannis is used to having the ball in his hands, late game situation? What is that message for both guys to buy into we ball, because it used to be in me ball late game situations?
Well, I think it can benefit both guys because, number one, Dame has always had to do everything by himself. So it's going to be nice for him to play with somebody. Number one, don't leave out Chris Middleton. So I think it's going to be beneficial to both guys. Giannis, I think the one thing he's going to have to learn to do, and I've always thought it was the one weakness of his game, he's got to learn to play without the basketball. It's going to make the game easier for him. He used to bring it up going downhill. Now, if he get out on that wing, I think he's going to get a lot more easier baskets in the full court. And in the half court, him and Dame, man, and Chris. I mean, you think about it. When they won the championship, their pick and roll was Chris Middleton and Giannis. Now you're going to have Giannis and Dame. Man, that is going to be explosive. So Giannis, I think, is going to really help him, but it's going to definitely help Dame because he ain't going to have to do it all by himself. He's going to have two guys, not one. He's going to have two guys they can get a ball to, and he don't – like in Portland, anytime – you go back and look at Portland, every big shot they've had the last 5 to 7 to 10 years has been him making a Hail Mary from half court. Now he can make that shot, but now he's going to have Giannis and Chris Middleton. So, man, it's a great day for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm not upset with what the Suns did. I mean, obviously, they already made their big move going out getting Bradley Beal. I think they're probably – well, I don't want to say they're the favorite in the West because, man, I love what the Lakers have done. I mean, you take your head off to what the Lakers have done this summer. I think them and the Suns are the two favorites because I really think the Nuggets lost some good players, man. I think the Nuggets lost some good players. I don't want to disrespect the champs. But if you ask me going in, I think the Lakers and the Suns are the two favorites in the West. In the East, it's the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Chuck, it sounds like you're buying the Bucks. That's what I keep hearing from you as you keep going down this list. But there's something I often hear you talk about, especially when you say championship caliber teams, right? And it's those guys. I mean, the guys that win you championships. And it feels like Milwaukee went from Giannis was the guy to now it's Giannis, Dame, and you're saying even Chris Middleton can be in on that conversation. Can you explain how that could be true?
Well, because, you go back and look at the game that Milwaukee lost. Giannis missed 17 free throws. He's not going to have to do that anymore. I mean, he's great. Him and Joker are, in my opinion, are the two best players in the world. But he missed 17 free throws in that elimination game. People are glossing over that. You can't have your best player missing 17 free throws. But now, with Dame and Chris, he ain't going to have to take 17 free throws. So, they're like I say, it's going to benefit everybody. Because you go back and look at the years they won that championship, he had the one game where he made like 17 out of 20 free throws. But that was an anomaly. That wasn't what he does consistently. In that game 5, when they lost to the Heat last year, he missed like 17 free throws.
And Chuck, what do you say to the naysayers that what Drew Holiday brought to the team defensively, decision-making down the stretch, how do they replace that, or is Dame's superstar power overcome that?
Well, a couple of things, D. Scott. When they won the championship, those plays – first of all, I love Drew Holiday. He's a great defender and a hell of a player. Yep. But the year the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship, Chris Middleton, they were going to him because, Giannis was struggling at the free throw line. He had that one game against the Suns where he went crazy. But if you go back, them getting to the finals, they always went to Chris Middleton. They wasn't going to Drew Holiday as much as I love Drew Holiday. But you factor in the Dame is not as good defensively as Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday is not as good offensively as him. So it's kind of a wash. But if you ask yourself this, man, for the thing that shocked me the most about this thing, D. Scott, I have no idea what my 76ers were doing. I was like, they're like, we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up Maxey. I said, wait a minute. So you're telling me the Milwaukee Bucks gave up Drew Holiday, who's a hell of a player,
right? And
the Sixers are like, we're not giving up Maxey. I love Maxey, but if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm telling you, this is what I think they were thinking. You give me Giannis and Dame, I'll take my chances against anybody. If I had been the 76ers, I'd have said, you give me Joel Embiid and Dame Lillard, I'll take my chances, because you had to do something. Because the Celtics, when we woke up this morning, the Celtics were the favorite in the East.
Right.
When we woke up this morning, they're like, yo, man, I think the Celtics are the team to beat in the East. When we go to bed tonight, we're going to be saying, yo, man, like Chris just said, them people in Vegas, they pretty damn smart. They didn't build them beautiful-ass buildings in the middle of the desert. Hey, they didn't build those buildings out there in the middle of the desert with 120 degrees because they dumb. But when we go to bed tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be the favorite. I wish my Sixers had to pull the trigger. They didn't. I give the Milwaukee Bucks credit. And, they're going to be the favorite when we go to bed tonight. So it's a great day to be a Milwaukee Bucks fan. And like I say, I'm not upset about what my Suns did. But I still say the Suns and the Lakers, man, that's going to be – and like I say, I don't want to sleep on the Denver Nuggets. They got Joker. Mm-hmm. But they lost a couple of really good role players. And, they lost some really good role players. And they're going to be counting on some young kids. And I don't know if those young kids are going to be ready for that smoke in Game 6, 7 against the Suns and against the Lakers.
Well, Chuck, remember, don't forget that your 76ers started the process by trading away Drew Holiday. So in case you just wanted a little reminder of how that all started, the process and where they are now. It did start with Drew Holiday.
But first of all, the first thing they got to do, they should have already got rid of James Harden. That's over with. But, Chris, they screwed up. They had a chance. Part of your job as a team, you have to make difficult decisions. That's part of your job. Mm-hmm. When they traded away, they had to choose between Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons, and they chose wrong. Yeah, that was the biggest mistake that the Sixers made. Can you imagine Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler? I'll take my chances. That's what the Milwaukee Bucks just said. Hey, you know what? Boston's good. The Lakers had a great summer. We didn't win the championship. We got to do something. Because I'm a firm believer. If you don't win the championship, you can't come back with the same team.
So my final take on all this is I feel like Dame has landed in a perfect spot for his skill set. I can't think of any other team in the NBA that would showcase him better than the Milwaukee Bucks because they need what he specializes in as far as his deep shooting, his perimeter scoring threat, and also being able to mix it up and play make for others. You know, Dame, when he first came into the NBA, he had his patented play with LaMarcus Aldridge in the pick and roll where, you know, LaMarcus would set the pick, and, you know, LaMarcus was a great jump shooter. And Dame used to have a perfect right in pocket behind the back pass that was laying right in his shooting motion. And I remember that he was famous for that before he became famous for like his deep ball and everything. So it'll be very intriguing to see how he's able to play off the pick and roll with Giannis as far as lobs and how much attention he's going to draw. Because Drew Holiday, you know, you knew to go under. And he could shoot pretty good. He got to where he was shooting a lot better. But Dame going under is forbidden. And that's going to cause problems in that pick and roll with Giannis. You got Brook Lopez who can shoot it. So there's no way you're going to be able to go under that screen. That's going to be the thing to see. So so people are not going to be able to switch their guard on Giannis for obvious reasons because that's a dunk. You're not going to be able to cheat under the screen. I don't know how you defend that when you think about it because the guard is going to have to switch sometimes. If Giannis sets a good pick, you know, he's going to have to switch because the guy's not going to be able to get to Dame quick enough with Dame's range. And he steps back on his threes too. So if you go under or you try to fight through the screen, it's going to cause issues. So good luck defending that. But I really like what this team did. A lot of teams thought about pulling the trigger. Philly, I don't know what they're doing, but I think James Harden is harder to move than people are giving it credit for. People don't really want James Harden like that no more. I think they know what he is, and they're fine with everyone else having him. But they don't want to take on his attitude, his contract demands. And I can totally get with that. I understand 1,000%. Miami may be able to go out there and grab Drew Holiday. Him and Jimmy, very defensive backcourt, do it like that. Or, you know, you got the Celtics. They could use Drew Holiday, and that'll be a good rivalry. If you add him to the Boston Celtics team, I think that'd be really good for them, actually. Also, you could look at what they're saying about Golden State looking at grabbing Drew Holiday. And that would be good for them from a defensive standpoint on the perimeter too, because Klay isn't who he used to be defensively. So the explosive guards that Steph get matched up with, you talk about your John Morants and those guys, you bring in Drew Holiday to take those assignments, especially at Steph's age now. So there are some things you can do to implement Drew Holiday to contenders. So even a team like Denver losing Bruce Brown, you bring in Drew Holiday. There's some options out there that make sense for Drew Holiday. So I want to see what team pulls the trigger and pulls him in. But hey, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.